welcome again to Never Thought to Ask the Senior Narratives, the podcast where I interview our newly hatched senior citizens and ask them some questions about their journey so far and hopefully get some fun stories about the things that we, of course, never thought to ask. I'm here with Alma Matoe. Kia ora, Alma.
Kia ora.
First of all, thank you for being a guest. I'm looking forward to hearing what stories can be told today as you take us through your journey so far. First up, we're covering family and growing up, school, and then we'll move into your work life, and then we'll finish up with a few fun questions, a little bit of now and then we finish up on our special final question. Alma, are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Whereabouts were you born?
I was born in Takapuna Hospital in Auckland, and ended up in the Karatani Hospital until I was 6 months old.
Karatani, oh wow. And your parents?
Harriet Matu, or Hardy Puti Matu, and Ronald James Brack.
Okay, now growing up, did you have any siblings?
Yes, we've got two families. Mum was married at an early age, in her teens actually, to her first cousin. It was an arranged marriage. As they did back in the day, keep the land in the whānau, and they were right into the spiritual world as well. So Mum's sister, Auntie Aroha, had gone into this tapu orchard, ate the grapefruit from there, got very sick, and so they were told they had to marry to lift that tapu off her so she could live.
Wow, there wouldn't be very much of that going on right now, would
No.
there?
So I got 3 siblings from that marriage, and then there's 6 of us from the Bracks, yes.
Okay, children?
3 sons. Yes, I got 3 boys. Daryl, Beau, and Brendan.
You get any grandkids out of them?
I have 6 grandchildren, 4 boys and 2 girls.
Okay, so you grew up in Auckland. Did you guys move around a lot, or were you?
Yeah, no, we were in Auckland till I was 9, and then we moved back up to the Hokianga, where Mum was from, and moved to Otukura first, and that's where my grandfather's from, and then we ended up in Papua, where Mum's grandparents are from.
Wow. What is your earliest memory?
Earliest memory would have to be in Ludlow Terrace, in Glenfield where we lived. Walking across the clay to go to school, Target Road School. Walking across the clay to go to Uncle Widdermoo's house. Yeah, going across the road across Wairau Road to get to grandmother's house. Yeah, they were good days.
Growing up, did you have any nicknames?
Shortstop when I was playing softball. Brickadoon, I used to say Brackadoon shortbread.
Childhood friends, are you still in touch with any of them?
I'm friends with Dean Ornut, who coaches some rugby teams. We went to Target Road School together, and Okaihau College friends. I've still actually met up with them last year. There was 4 of us that all met up.
Sure.
I didn't realise that one was living in Coomera, one had come into town, and there was another one that lived in Carrara, and had been on the Gold Coast the same time that I was living on the Gold Coast years ago. So, yeah, we all got together. That was fun. Good laughs.
Did you have a favourite family member?
My dad and my little brother. Yeah.
A lot of families have traditions. What are some that you have or had in your family?
Well, we weren't allowed to talk at the table. You know, you got the knife across the knuckles if you joked or laughed at the table. Laugh about it now, you didn't then.
No, not at all. I know those traditions quite well. Okay, we're off to school now. Take us on a journey through all your schools.
So it started off in Target Road Primary School in Auckland or Glenfield, and then we moved up north, went to Horeke Primary School and Okaihau College, and then came to Australia when I was 14 and went to Mount Isa High School.
Do you remember your first day of school?
No.
Not many do. I've had a couple that could,
Wow.
but no, not many do. How were you as a student? Did you have a favourite subject?
Oh, Māori was my favourite.
Learning
My
te
favourite subject, yeah. I had no ears as a child. Stubborn, answered back. Always at the headmaster's office.
Well, you kind of walked into the next question there.
Oh.
Did you ever get into trouble in class?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I remember beating up the music teacher's daughter, so I got kicked out of music class. So later in life, I was just thinking, it's your fault I didn't learn to play any instruments.
Okay. Every school had one. Who was the meanest teacher that you encountered in your school life?
Oh, yeah, Mrs. Rogers, the music teacher.
Well, yeah.
Oh, Mrs. Sarridge. Oh, she was vicious. She was our Māori teacher. And she was one of those ones that if you daydreamed or wasn't listening, she'd get that big chalk, the chalkboard ruler, and she'd slam it on your desk. Too bad if your fingers were in the road.
Through that time, did you have any mentors or idols, people you held in high regard?
Oh, my granddad, he was the only one that I looked up to, and my dad, yeah. My heroes.
Do you have any personal achievements in this time that you found satisfying, no matter how insignificant?
Yeah, I got to sing at some pretty big events. In Mount Isa, I've sung at the Meanest Ball, the Queensland the Tourism Awards actually, and so Mount Isa hosted it. I think it was 2007. The guy that was running it rang from Brisbane and said, "Oh, I heard you're the best in town, and have you got any demo tapes, demo CDs?" And I said, "Oh no, we do rehearsals on a Monday. You're welcome to come along." So they turned up on the Monday to the rehearsals, and it's funny because Kenny, my best friend that I used to sing with, he says, because they said, "Oh yeah, we want you for the Tourism Awards. Just get together, put a prize together, let us know." And so Kenny and I got together, and he said, "Oh, we'll charge them $1,500. And I said, "Oh, that's a bit much, isn't it?" He said, No, $1,500. Okay, then. So the next night they come back and they said, "Oh, did you think of a price?" And Kenny goes, "Yeah." He said, "How many people?" And they said, "Oh, there's 300 guests." He said, "Oh, yeah, so we're going to charge you $2,500. And I sort of couldn't look at him because I thought, man, we'd agreed to $1,500 and you've just whacked another grand on it. And he said, "Oh, yeah, we'll pay that." He said, "Is there anything else you want?" He said, being cheeky, "Oh, yeah, we'll have a green room and we'll have an esky with cheese and wine." And we turn up the gig. They've taken this donga out bush for our green room. And there's cheese platters and chocolate baskets and a fridge full of grog.
They just gave it.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I sing at the International Women's. It's a world thing that they have, Indigenous Women's Association of some. I don't think it's a conference, a world conference. And Nelson Mandela came. It was in Toowoomba at the music theatre or some theatre up there. But yeah, I didn't even know who Nelson Mandela was back then. And they're like, oh, you just sang for Nelson Mandela. I was like, oh, who's he?
Well, that's actually quite a couple of really, really cool, personal
Yeah.
achievements, and you didn't even.
We've done some awesome gigs, yeah. I got to sing on the big stage at Seagulls. It was a karaoke comp, but I still got to sing down there.
A win's a win, eh? A win's a win.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to work now. Give us a brief work history.
My first job was at Coles. I had a big fight with the headmistress, told her to jam her school up her, and walked off, went to Coles, applied for a job and got one. And so that I was 15 then. And then Kmart come down and offered me a full-time job there. Went from Kmart to a newsagent. And then I've done all sorts after that. But yeah, I've been with Queensland Health since 2002, working in hospitals. So that's been great.
All right. Did you have a worse job?
No, I've loved every job that I've had.
I get a lot of that.
Oh, the hardest job I ever had was tree lopping with my brother.
Tree lopping?
Yeah. It's a funny story because I used to do all the stump grinding. And so when I started back at the hospital in Townsville, I told them that I was stump grinding, used to go after work, take the stump grinder out. And this new lady started, and this Jenny goes, oh, this is Alma. Alma's a stunt driver. And I said, a stunt driver? No, stump grinding. Big difference.
What was your favourite job?
I would have to say the one I've got now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've worked in a lot of departments in Queensland Health, but the 70 doctors I look after now, they're just so appreciative of every little thing that you do, supportive of everything. Wow. Just beautiful, beautiful people. Yep.
Do you have any favourite work stories or stories of pranks that happened from any of these workplaces?
Oh, yeah, when I first got there, they were all sort of, standoffish and what have you, but I found the funny side of them all, and, they throw things at me now because they know I can handle it, I've got this little rubber truck, it's like a stress ball, but it's a semi-trailer. And if they annoy me, I throw it at them and tell them to get trucked. Yeah, no, it's a really awesome place to work. I'm actually going to really miss them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've had some good times. Cheese Fridays.
Okay, next section, we're moving into the fun stuff now. Tell us the story of a real kick yourself moment.
The hardest thing I've ever done is give my children the choice of who they wanted to be with when their father and I split up. And all I could see was I didn't want them to feel like they had to choose, but I didn't want to take them away from their father and say, I'm the mother, they should come with me. And then have them hate me for it. So I asked them to choose. Later on down the track, finding out that they didn't know who to choose. So I sort of forced them to choose, and it's that has always played on my mind because I just think, man, I should have just taken them and just waited till they got a little bit older and then given them the choice,
Shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, but, it all worked out. It all worked out fine, and their father and I became really good friends, and, we'd still go and have dinner with the kids and do things with the kids, and he'd come up and bring them up to me to Mount Isa, and, I'd help him pay for fuel and stuff to get up there. But yeah, that was a real kick in the pants then. But I mean, I wouldn't change anything I've ever done now. Yeah, they're all lifetime experiences, hey?
Wow, you wouldn't be here without it.
That's right. That's right.
All right, moving on. What is your most petty crime?
Petty crime? Oh, I don't think I've... You know, the only crime I've ever done is not wear a seatbelt. Oh, no, I drove on a footpath once. And then at work they said, what did you drive on the footpath for? Oh, somebody was on the footpath and gave me the finger, so I tried to run them over. They said, did you? I said, no. It was a made-up footpath, and the cop pulled me up because I drove over a little barrier.
Okay. Oh, so that's you would have just got a talking to.
Oh, no, I got a fine.
Oh.
But I told him to calm his farm. He was a bit angry. Like I had run somebody over.
What was the last book you read?
Oh, where is it? I just read it not long ago. Oh, Bryce Courtney. I love his stories.
Bryce Courtney.
Yeah, love his books.
Anything by Bryce Courtney?
Yep.
Okay, whack. You just got struck by lightning and have woken up with superpowers. What are they?
Sexier than normal. No. Superpowers. Superpowers. Zap. Just travel without getting on a plane. Just click my fingers and I'm in Mount Isa with the grandkids.
There you go, guys. Teleportation. We can all relate to that one. If Hollywood movie directors wanted to put your life story in a movie, who would you want to act as you?
Oh, I say Whoopi Goldberg. She's probably a bit darker than my complexion, but she's funny as.
I can actually see the similarity there. Not the looks, but the
clowns.
dynamic, the personalities.
I love her.
Everyone has a song or two that is close to their heart, as the lyrics sometimes matches life events or a specific mood, perhaps even a fond memory. Give us a track or two that is near and dear to your heart, and why.
The song that is always near and dear to my heart is Always on My Mind by Willie Nelson. It was a song I sang after my children chose their dad to go and live with their dad. It was a really hard time in my life because they were not allowed to speak to me for 18 months, and they came into town one day, and I was so happy to see them, and I ran up to them yelling out to them, and they turned around, they looked at me, and then they kept walking. Because they knew they'd get a hiding if they spoke to me.
Oh, wow.
So that song, that's them, that's my boys.
What is one of the most spontaneous things you've ever done?
Just decided we're going to move to Atherton. Apply for a job on Thursday, move the following Friday, resign on the Monday. Yep, very spontaneous.
And you will be missed. You will be missed. We're into the next section now, which is the then and now. First one from there is, what is something from our past eras that they should bring back?
I look back in my life and I just think we grew up, when we moved to Papua, we grew up with no power, no running water. And at the time, as kids, you grow up and you think, man, we're so poor. Everybody's got power and all that sort of stuff. And then I look back now at this age and I think we were the richest kids there. It's not just about having power, it's about learning to survive in life for the rest of your life. You learn so many skills from living like that. And they need to take back some of that stuff, because all the kids today, their phones, their iPads, their Netflix, it's all so important to them. I was just saying earlier that my niece came to stay with us and she said, Auntie, what's your Wi-Fi, password? I said, I don't have Wi-Fi. She's like, what? You don't have Wi-Fi? I said, no. She goes, who does that? Who doesn't have Wi-Fi? So they become reliant on today's technologies. They need to go back to some basics.
Throw them in the bush, you reckon?
Yeah, well, I don't think, if a lot of kids today, if their parents died, they wouldn't be able to survive without them. Oh, well, they might have if they've got Wi-Fi, Google.
Okay.
That'll be back in the day the neighbours were all auntie and uncle. The kids today, it's auntie and uncle Google. They tell them everything.
I know Uncle Google. I know him quite well. Have you ever broken a habit? What was it?
Oh, I did. I gave up smoking for 18 months. But I took it back up. But I did break it for 18 months.
What were the challenges you faced during that?
That's when they brought all the patches out way back then. And I used to smoke 50 packets of cigarettes way back then. And so they put me on the highest patch there was. And I got reactions to it.
Oh, yeah.
I ended up with a pizza face. It was all blistered and yucky. But I got through it. As soon as they realised that, they put me on the lowest one and it all went away.
What is something, a trend, a behaviour that you just don't see the appeal to? What's something that you just don't grasp the concept of?
Oh, it would have to be people who are vindictive. I hate vindictiveness. It's mean. It's horrible. Some people will just do something and not mean to do it, but that person that's vindictive will go, all out to try and get you back for it. I can't deal with that.
If you could spend a day with someone alive or not, fictional or true, who would it be and why?
It would be my dad. My dad's passed, but I would make sure that I asked him everything about his life, because I'm doing my whakapapa, and I have been doing it for 5 years. But I'm actually doing a book on my dad, because we have a family reunion, break reunion, hopefully at the end of 2021. And I was 50 before I decided to start looking into my whakapapa, and I don't want my children and my grandchildren to wait till then to look into it, and then it's all gone because we've all gone.
Yeah.
So it's important. So I'm putting all the little stories into that book of my dad that I do remember. I've got all of his photos from when he was in the army.
Wow.
And I've actually just connected with my cousin, my dad's brother's daughter, for the first time ever.
Wow.
And she's lived in Brisbane all this time, and we never knew. Yeah, so it's wonderful. So she's shared stories with me as well that I can share with the family now, which is great.
Do you have a bucket list, and have you ticked off anything yet?
No, I don't have a bucket list, but I actually had my numbers read when I was like 28. And I was told of all the changes in my life where my life would change. There'd be a different town or something would happen. Something big will happen in my life. And they've all been ticked off. Everything that I was told has happened. The last one is 54, which is now. And voila, where are we going? One big move. Yeah, so everything's happened as it said.
That's awesome. Final question. Being a part of this podcast, you now have an opportunity to leave behind a recording for your future generations. What important knowledge or wisdom would you like to pass on to them?
It's always been important to me for my children to get along, to be there for one another, love one another, because at the end of the day, you can have relationships with other people, and when things go wrong, all you have are each other. So, be there for one another, love one another, and just support each other through everything. Be good to people, and treat people as you wish to be treated. Our whānau, well, not everybody, but, I'm the type of person that would do anything for anybody. We're givers. And I see that in my eldest son, and that makes me so proud because, even though people think that you give, and they can't understand it, it also gives to us. It makes us feel, proud inside that we've put a smile on someone's face, or we've taken a tear away from somebody. We've lifted the weight off their shoulders. So yeah, just love people, love life, and enjoy it while you can.
Alma Matoe, thank you for being a guest on Never Thought to Ask the Senior Narratives. Thank you for having us in your home, and safe journeys up north. And we will no doubt have to come and visit sometime.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tane.
Alright, I'm Tane Hall, and this has been Never Thought to Ask the Senior Narratives. We'll catch you next time. Talk soon.